career change is a big deal, right? Or at least that's what the society tells us. I mean, there's a lot of pressure from our parents, but then most of all, I think it's the guilt of not choosing the career that you have actually studied for, which I think is a lot to digest for some people. For me, it was definitely a difficult decision to make. I had just gotten out of college and I had started working with a friend as a freelance architect, and we did have projects, but then there were also days where we did not have any work. So I thought, why not do something like a part-time job in order to, kill time. I was also really looking forward to being financially independent, because architecture is a 5-year long course, right? And all my friends from school by then had already started earning. They were financially independent, and that, I think, made me feel left out. So I spoke to a friend, and she gave me a recommendation, and I joined a marketing agency as a social media strategist in a part-time role. I should tell you that I had no knowledge of marketing or social media when I joined. I was a fresh, I was starting completely new, and I think it was this desire to be really good at my work and to be appreciated that I started absorbing a lot of information, really quickly. I started reading things, reading books, and soon I got really good at my work. The problems that seemed really daunting at first, they were not so scary anymore. And of course, by then I had decided that I will pursue marketing and leave behind my career in architecture for good. So when the same company finally offered me a full-time role, I did not think twice before accepting it. And I think this was the first big step towards my career transition. When I was working part-time, I was mostly working from behind the scenes. But as I became more familiar with the processes, the market, the core concepts of marketing, I became more confident in facing clients, in the sense that whenever they came to me with a question, I would be able to answer them and even come up with really creative solutions to their problems. Since I come from a design background, I started becoming more involved in the creative processes and also shared my inputs in the design strategy. But honestly, what really helped me make this transition a success was working in a startup. Because a startup is also constantly growing, and especially more at an early stage, I was allowed to make mistakes, and my team was also incredibly supportive. And I think that for me, that made all the difference, because when you're in a new field of work and you're making a lot of small mistakes, it can really demotivate you into withdrawing. But the warm, friendly and supportive environment of working in a startup really provided me with that cushion, in the sense that I knew that if I was making these small mistakes, there are people who would always have my back. And like I said, that for me made all the difference. There's a lot of stigma around making unusual career decisions, and it's not always taken very well by people whose opinions matter to us. And I think once you get through that phase, that initial phase, which is probably the hardest part of making the career switch, you get that confidence, and then it all starts to make sense. And that's it from me in today's video. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments below, or you can always write to me on my email ID. I will be sharing it in the description for this video. And for whatever reason you're watching this, I hope that it helped you. Have a good weekend. I will see you next time. Bye.